Hi, today I'm reviewing a new book by Ari Paparo called Yield. And you might have expected that me, the Yield Doctor, would have rushed out to do a review the moment it was released. But honestly, the subtitle, How Google Bought, Built, and Bullied Its Way to Advertising Dominance, put me off at first. Still, I decided to dive in, and while I may do a follow-up video to this one on what we can actually learn from the book about good yield management, in this video I'm going to share three things. Who should read the book, what I think works and what doesn't, and thirdly, why it matters to anyone working in the digital industry today. So, firstly, who should read this book? If you have been in ad tech or digital media for a while, this is basically a must read. You will recognize half the names in the books, either as colleagues, competition, or just legends of the industry. It is, without doubt, the most comprehensive history that I have read of ad tech in print. If you are newer to the industry, the glossary, the event timeline, the diagrams about Google Ad Tech alone are worth the price of admission. They could fit into any syllabus for somebody who needs to get up to speed on the industry quickly. For publishers and ad tech professionals, this is essential. But for people outside of that very small circle, say marketers or general tech readers, it may feel a little bit much like inside baseball. So, what works well? For me, the first half of Yield is excellent. Ari takes us through the creation of DoubleClick, of Microsoft's acquisition of aQuantive, the rise of AppNexus, and other foundational stories. And for me, it felt like reliving history personally, having experienced a large part of it, and I loved it. One of the strengths is his attention to detail. He lays out exactly what happened in various meetings, and he talks about the way that various technologies interacted. And he does a remarkably good job explaining how the technologies fit together. So if you don't already understand how a DSP, an SSP, and an exchange interact, this book will get you there. So what doesn't work as well? For me, and again, this is for me, the second half of the book was less compelling. Ari spends a lot of time on Google's internal politics and product decisions. It's interesting, but it's not always as engaging a narrative. Several chapters focus on lawsuits against Google, and personally I found these sections dry, something better suited to a legal brief than a business book. And finally, the structure at times was confusing. The chapters are organized thematically in some cases rather than chronologically, and so I had to stop and reorient myself. So what did I want more of? At the very end, Ari poses a big question. What went wrong with web advertising as a whole? And for me, that's actually the most interesting theme. And obviously, Google is a huge part of that story. But so are regulation, competition, and the choices that are made by publishers and advertisers. And I wish that the book had dug in deeper into that. But maybe that's different than the book that Ari wanted to write. So here's my verdict. If you are in publishing or ad tech, you need to read this. It is the best book written on the history of our industry so far. If you are not in the industry, it may feel too detailed. Either way, Ari has given us one of the definitive counts of the early years of internet advertising. He is clearly one of a very short list of people who could write a book like this. Congratulations to him on creating a truly valuable read. I'd love to hear more from you. Have you read Yield? Do you disagree with my account? Do you agree with Ari's take on Google's role in the industry? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching.